guys is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? Hey, you gotta be kidding.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of He Said, She Said, where we review movies for Sun City Anthem moviegoers, and boy, have we got a great one for you this time.
We both really enjoyed the movie Top Gun: Maverick. Although we have a beautiful 72-inch TV in our home, we believe that some movies really should be seen on the big screen, and this is one of them. We like going to the theater, and when you strike gold with the movie you're going to see, then the large popcorn can sometimes even be worth the trip.
Yes, it does. Hollywood heartthrob Tom Cruise, who just turned 60 years old this year, played the part of a man about 47 or 48 years of age. But Tom is still picking him up and laying him down, and he had absolutely no problems doing so in this film.
The stunt work is unbelievable, and Tom famously did most of his own stunt work. The movie has been in the works for over a decade, but its release was greatly delayed by COVID-19 pandemic.
Coming out of the theater, I knew that this was the most exciting movie that I have ever seen. Alfred Hitchcock and Stephen King movies scare me. Top Gun: Maverick did not. It excited me for 2 hours and 11 minutes, and I won't ever hear Kenny Loggins sing Danger Zone without remembering the opening scenes of this movie.
The cinematography is breathtaking, and there are insane flying action sequences. It is not only thrilling, but emotionally moving, and a sequel that absolutely surpasses its predecessor. You truly feel like you are in the plane with Tom Cruise pulling 6 or 7 Gs.
He is playing the role of Pete Mitchell, call sign Maverick, just like he did back in 1986 in the original Top Gun movie. Cruise was 24 years old in 1986 and fit right into his character of about the same age at that time. Fast forward almost 30 years and you can see an older Maverick who can still bring it on.
The team trains for this mission so many times with so many unbelievable aerial stunts that by the end there is absolutely no confusion as to what the final mission entails.
The new Maverick is now 30 years in the Navy and is still a handsome, super skilled fighter pilot who some brand as, if not a troublemaker, then at the very least someone who chooses to live his life under the premise of it's far better to beg for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Except that Maverick doesn't beg for anything, and he even smiles when confronted to the consternation of virtually every superior officer.
I found it funny that in his Navy career, Maverick would be evaluated by some as like, wow, in 30 years in the Navy, he only made captain? My guess is that with the next promotion to admiral, he would more than likely have lost his full-time flying assignments, something he certainly would not wish for.
So there he is, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot at a remote outpost in the Mojave Desert, where his job is to fly planes as fast as they can go, and while dodging the advancement to a rank that would ground him. Early in the movie, we see the first crisis in the possibility of the test program he is involved in potentially being scrapped.
Ed Harris appears briefly as Rear Admiral Chester Hammer Kane, the one superior officer who most wants to shut down the test program that Maverick is involved in and replace it with one of his own, where piloted aircraft are a thing of the past and unmanned drones take their place. Arriving at the test facility, the Admiral confirms that the day's flying requirement is Mach 9. But rumor has it that Kane will use the unprecedented speed of Mach 10 and Maverick's likely failure to achieve it as his reason for deciding to ditch the program.
Right about then, I knew the thrill level of this movie was going to be off the charts. Ed Harris himself showed some of his own mettle by using no stunt double in the scene where when he realizes that Maverick is already taking off, he gets out of his car at the end of the runway as if to stare down the oncoming fighter jet and takes on a powerful jet pressure wash as the freakily low flying jet passes directly over him.
An old friend of Maverick's requests him personally to train a new group of hotshot Top Gun graduated pilots who will carry out a strike against the enemy. The old friend is Admiral Tom Iceman Kazansky, played by Val Kilmer, who was also in the original Top Gun movie. Kilmer's involvement in the film couldn't be called much more than a cameo, but it was a nice touch.
Maverick is told to report to Naval Air Station San Diego. Once again, we're introduced to the world of creme de la creme Navy pilots.
The group of potential recruits include Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, the son of the dearly departed Goose, whose accidental death in the first movie still haunts Maverick. Rooster does not like Maverick for the obvious reasons, but it goes deeper than that. Maverick made sure that Rooster was initially denied entrance to the Naval Academy as a favor to Goose's widow, who made the request in an effort to stop him from suffering the same fate as his father.
The commander of the mission, Admiral Bo Simpson, callsign Cyclone, is played by John Hamm, who cannot understand why Maverick's foe-turned-friend, Admiral Tom, callsign Iceman Kazansky, is insisting that Maverick be the instructor for the mission. Admiral Simpson makes it perfectly clear that only his friends in high places have put Maverick in this assignment, and were the choice his, Maverick would not have even been considered.
When Maverick gets to San Diego, there are a few problems. One is the presence of an old flame named Penny, played by Jennifer Connelly, who owns the local watering hole where the pilots hang out.
A friend of mine whose husband was a Navy pilot told me that the bar in the movie is the I Bar at Naval Air Station North Island, San Diego.
There is no way to describe the mission that they are undertaking and not spoil the surprises you will enjoy while watching this movie. The original Top Gun movie has become a part of pop culture. The question is, will this sequel do as well? I cannot imagine that it won't. One critic called it a vein-popping sequel, and it certainly was all of that.
Top Gun Maverick has been positively received in almost all quarters. The fact that the movie raked in over $1 billion in the first 2 months following release speaks for itself. I personally think the flavor of any criticism out there may be based, at least in part, upon Cruise's public controversies over the past 3 decades. If you don't like Tom Cruise, you might have issues with the movie. We hope you don't, because if you like movies, this one is not to miss. And I give this movie an enthusiastic 2 thumbs up.
And I too give the movie 2 thumbs up. We'll be back again soon with another movie review together as
He said, she said. Reporting for SCA-TV.